Yo, what's up guys, Balkas here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the new account combat class mechanic that's coming to the game with the latest patch. If you don't know what it does, basically, depending on how much account combat class you get a HP buff, and this works in PvP, so it's incredibly important. It also works in pretty much everywhere. So as you can see, as you hit different rates of combat class, you gain a bigger and bigger HP buff. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the ways which you can easily help improve your account combat class with very little effort, so that you can try and get around 1.25, 1.5 million. 1.5 million is probably the best thing to aim for because it's not super difficult, but also it only goes up a little bit between 1.5 and 1.75, and the difference in hardness to get to 1.75 is a lot. So 1.5 is quite a good mark that people should be able to hit, or at least 1.25. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go over some tips and tricks to make sure that you can do the highest amount of combat class that you possibly can. So the first trick is you're going to go into your characters. You're going to want to make sure you have all the cosmetics equipped as possible for the characters, because for characters like Jericho, you might have a lot of Jericho cosmetics equipped, but you've never used the blue or the red Jericho before, so the pieces are automatically equipped to the best as they can be to get the highest CC. So just go through all the units to make sure that the closet is set up so they have the best sort of gear as they can. Second thing you want to do is, if you go into the towns, you can buy common gear for really cheap, and what you can do is you can just buy 25 pieces of each common gear. Do you want to go for the HP pieces and the defense set ones because they give the highest CC boost, and you just want to buy up all the common pieces and equip common pieced gear onto every single character that you possibly can. This way it's going to give all your characters a big CC boost, and it's super cheap to do. I think I want to say it's about 200 gold a piece. Like, it's super cheap to buy, so you can just spend like maybe 100,000 gold to equip every single unit you own with common gear, and it's just going to give you a big increase, which is pretty good. Another thing you can do is make sure that after you've put gear on, you can pick up a really strong gear set for every single character, and make sure you do all the quests to unlock the uniques, because I believe you get around, it's quite a bit, it's a big CC boost for having the unique unlocked for each character. So if you go through every single character and unlock every single unique that you possibly can, it's going to boost your account rating up by quite a lot. Again, another thing you can do is, that's pretty good, is if for like units like these really cheap units, just go and upgrade their ultimates to 6 out of 6. Like, it's with the training cave that's coming quite soon, you're going to want a lot of different units, so it's actually not too bad to wait to upgrade their ultimates on the units, and you get 400 account class for every time you upgrade an ultimate. So unless you're really wanting to buy something from the shop, obviously save up for that, but if you've got spare stuff that you don't really necessarily super need anymore, you're going to want to upgrade the ultimates on the things that you can. It's quite cheap to do. Also, you're going to want to then go into, depending on how much you've been grinding the boss battles, you're going to want to try and get as many awakenings on units as you possibly can. So you want to go into the awakenings, and as you can see, you depending on how much you do stuff, you'll have a lot of these things. So you just want to go through all your characters and try and just put as many awakenings as you can on them. So as you can see, like all my main units are all maxed out awakening. Then you've got ones that I use for like passives. I have a couple of points in. Then I've got like most of the units up to like 2 to 4, as I just spent a lot of random stuff what I had available at the time, just to try and get the account CC up as much as possible. And if you combine all these things together, you're going to be getting quite a big boost to your CC. Obviously as well, you want to make sure all your units are max leveled. Depending on, I don't have any books at the minute because I sold all mine for my gold, but when the fort comes around this week, the half stamina fort event, you can farm books and that way you're going to be able to upgrade as many units as possible to at least level 60 or 50. Because for instance, like all my rares, I have 533 of these. I can afford to upgrade all my rares to level 40 or 50 easily without having to actually invest anything that I particularly need. The SR ones are a little bit more questionable, because obviously depending on if you have any SR units that you want to actually get to level 80 or things like that, you're probably not going to want to spend all your SR pendants. But I reckon you could everyone will have like 5 or 6 upgrades worth of pendants that they probably don't necessarily super need. That way you can get another 5 or 6 units up to level 50 or 60 depending on what they are. So for like spending the 10 from 50 to 60, it's probably not worth it. But from spending 3 to go from 40 to 50, it's going to give you a reasonable boost in account class as well. And also for the training cave, you're going to get a lot of use out of all the units at level 50 or 60. So definitely worth. It's not like a wasted investment or anything like that. It's definitely worth doing. So yeah, that's basically a bunch of the steps that you want to be going through to make sure that your account is up as high as possible, and hopefully you'll get to the 1.25 1.5 million account class mark, so you get a decent boost in HP. For PvP wise, it's going to add about, in ungeared, it gives you about 3,000 or 4,000 CC more just from having the buff higher, so it's going to make a big difference in PvP. So it's not something you're going to want to neglect. You're going to definitely want to work on it. So yeah, guys, for the upcoming videos, obviously I've been very busy at the minute with work, so I've not been releasing things. I'll have a PvP video tomorrow showcasing my new PvP team. My new PvP team I'm running at the minute is I'm using Green Merlin frontline with Blue Demon Meliodas and Red Gil, with Lilia in the backline for the reduced damage buff. It's been going really well. I've been winning most of my games. So yeah, I'll show you a video of that. And then next week, when the new guild boss comes out, I'll be doing updated guild boss guides for the new guild boss. Just a quick heads up if you're going to be wondering what sort of things you're going to be using. A really good team to use is things like Merlin, Gotha, Green Liz, Escanor. That's going to be a super common team to use. Other good units are like Jericho, Jillian is going to be pretty good. Alioni, he's another decent one. It's basically going to be running green units. Like mono green is like what a lot of people will use, or they'll run green with Gotha, as it's the most effective way to kill the boss. So yeah, that's I'll keep giving you videos on that anyway next week, more in depth. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it useful, and good luck getting your account class up. See you later.